They have gone through the ringer with our weather. Cause baby, we finna sit down and do this. You can try whatever you wanna try. I would if I was you. Baby, come get these mosquitoes. Anyway. Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. It's a night, y'all. I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break from the garden redo. I put the beds together and I set them in the spots, in the bags, in the spots where I think that I want them. I'm gonna leave the garden like that for a few days and then decide, like, is this good? Is this what I want? If you saw my short yesterday, I got so much space in the walkways now. Like, I'm super excited about that. So I'm gonna leave them where they are, and then if I'm good with this, say Friday, today is Wednesday, say Friday I'm good with this, I'm gonna start filling the garden beds and finishing putting them together. The two larger beds are not completely put together because I had to get them around the trellises, the cattle panel trellises and the T-post, and I still have to put the braces across all of them. But I'm super duper excited that we're almost done because it's just about time to start planning for fall. For me, for my schedule, it's time for me to start planning for fall. But what are we doing today? I am going to plant the last of my seeds. Now, I did pot up seedlings, y'all. I did not record it. When I started doing it, my son came and talked to me, and for the entire 2 hours, I think that it took me to do all of them, he stayed in there, he talked to me. So of course, I'm gonna always pick talking to my kids. And so with that being the case, I planted my beans, but also, I'm gonna show y'all the seedlings. We're gonna plant some seeds, but we're also gonna talk about the things that you can still start right now if you wanna get a summer crop, if you still have time. But I'm gonna share with you how you know if you still have time, how you know which varieties you can plant, what type of vegetable you can plant. I thought that was a good idea because for me, if you remember, if you're not new here, my green stalks are supposed to be mixed with calendula, pansies, and snapdragons. The snapdragons have started to germinate, but snapdragons move slow. The pansies, I think I have one, and they are in a dark place. Pansies are said to need darkness to germinate, right? So they are in a dark place, but they are moving so slow. So I did get a lot of calendula, so we're happy about that. I'm gonna sow some sunflowers tonight in place of those two plants because I can still plant those later on in the season. But for right now, I do want it to be mixed in with some flowers. So that's what we're gonna do, and some other things. But we're gonna talk through finding your first frost date, knowing if you can still plant, all of that kind of stuff. This is a little bit of a teachy video, but I'm still gonna be me. I have started getting the question, is it too late to plant this or is it too late to plant that? And so I just figured I would do a full video about it. I even talked about it over on Instagram today because around this time, people are finding gardening, the community, and they're like, oh, is it too late? So I figured it would be a good thing to talk about today. Anyway, what I was going to show you is we have bean germination in the green stalks. Pretty excited. These are, I want to say, gold mined beans. Gold mine, M-I-N, not mined beans. So they're coming up. I only had yellow beans, and I just wasn't going to go and buy different beans right now. I'll pick up some before the next summer season, but that's all I had. Anyway, they're starting to germinate. When I watered the seedlings, I went ahead and watered this green stalk too, and I just watered the pocket because that's where the seeds are and the roots aren't super deep just yet. But yeah, look at that. Aren't we excited? I know I am. And so beans is something that you can plant right now. A lot of bean seeds have between 50 and 60 days to maturity. If you are in an area where you still have 50 or 60 days, maybe 70 days before your first frost, but we're gonna talk about that. Also, I want to show y'all the potatoes real quick. The potatoes are also coming up. Look at that. We love it. I'm excited. I never have really good luck with fall potatoes, but they coming up, so we're gonna see what happens. So let's take a look at the seedlings. Everybody's asking like, how are they growing so fast? Crazy thing is, I have not fertilized these. I have had so much going on that I have not fertilized these seedlings once, which I do plan to do tomorrow. I think I'm gonna hit them with some fish emulsion because I'll be planting out for the green stalks this weekend. That's my plan. We're gonna cross our fingers, although I really wanna get the garden done too. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, if I were fertilizing, it would be with fish emulsion. And I do have fish emulsion, I just haven't gotten around to fertilizing them. I would do a diluted dose of fish emulsion. What I was gonna say is I have not fertilized them. What I did do was they're all growing in Fox Farm. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it either, but yeah, they're all growing in the Fox Farm Happy Frog soil. And I know that has something in it that's feeding it already, but that's my answer to that. I have not fertilized anything. But an update on the seedlings. We have our red Russian kale right here looking absolutely amazing. This is dazzling blue. Some of it made it, some of it didn't. I up potted the cilantro today, brought it right on outside, but I made sure I watered it really, really well. So we got dazzling blue kale right here. These are our green magic broccoli. You can see we got a little bit of damage, but I think it's more from the sun. But these plants have been outside. I put them outside very early, and that's where they have been. That's more green magic broccoli. Over here, we have our Katarina cabbage, and the one that died, I just went ahead and put some cilantro in there, call it a DAY. We do have some kind of damage, but it could be more moisture than like pest, but we do have some damage. These are Katarina cabbage, so they look really good too. Right here, we're gonna be planting out the new stuff that we're gonna talk about tonight. But back here is our butter crunch lettuce. It looks a little rough because I just sprayed it, and I definitely sprayed it from the top because that's what I felt like doing. We have calendula. All of this is calendula. There's a little bit of calendula over here. So we definitely will have enough calendula, but I also want to mix in some sunflowers as well. I had to bring another table out. By the way, this is the last day of the seed starting sale for green stock. This is the dragonfly teal. So it is a greenish, more greenish than blue. If you put it beside this, you can see like it's more greener than blue, in case anybody was wondering. But this is where we planted more beans. These are Cherokee wax. They're gonna go in a green stock, which is why I decided to use this. This doesn't fit my grow area well, but I will use them if it's gonna go somewhere that it doesn't have to go under my lights. And so I'm gonna let these germinate outside. Look at these cute little plant tags, y'all. I think they are so cute. They are also on the sale, and there's a link in my description if you are interested in this. I just think it's really pretty. That's one of the reasons I like green stock. It's for all of the colors. It's one of the reasons why I like Bootstrap Farmer. It's for all of the colors. So over here, we have some dwarf blue kale back here. You have some dazzling blue kale, top bunch collards looking good. This is a mix of Georgia Southern collards, kale, and broccoli. And then the Swiss chard, oh, that's something we need to replant. I need to go grab those seeds. I completely forgot we need to replant the Swiss chard. It looks horrible. There's some more cilantro right here. And then you got some Alabama blue collards right here. And so everything has been outside. We have been getting the craziest rains, y'all, the craziest rains. And we had a storm the other day, and I don't know if I told y'all, I mean, there are trees down everywhere, trees pulled out the ground. So I'm surprised all of these look as good as they do because I didn't come out here and I didn't move them. I was like, whoever live, and that's what happened. And they are all living and they all look just fine to me. So one thing about it, I won't, even though I don't really do it anyway, I will not have to harden off these seedlings. They have gone through the ringer with our weather. And then back here on this table, you have cilantro right here. This is from today. I kept the Swiss chard and stuff just to see what it's gonna do. The same thing with the Long Island Improved and the purple sprout and broccoli and the broccoli rapini, but they just haven't done well. Back here you got the kohlrabi, so that's exciting. There's two different kohlrabi types back here. These came out earlier today. Just made sure I watered them really well. Then you got your bok choy right here and some more cilantro. One of those bok choy, I guess I didn't water well, babe, because it succumbed to the heat in the sun today. This one just looked like from watering, but it might have just broke it. Who cares? And then you got some cilantro right here. Some more cilantro right here. So I'm super duper excited because we pretty much have all of our seeds started. We did have to add another table, but eventually all of this stuff is going to be planted out and these tables will go back where they came from. But for now, and if I had my greenhouse up, we wouldn't be dealing with this. But we're going to get the greenhouse up. I promise we're going to do that as soon as we finish the garden redo in the main garden. So let's do some talking about what you can still plant right now in a lot of places. Not all places, but I'm going to tell you how you know if it's time for you to start. All of that in this video. So I grabbed a chair because, baby, we finna sit down and do this. Also got to go grab some plant labels as well as a pen. I'll be right back. All right, so I am back. I also grabbed the Swiss chart. One of you shared this with me. You told me that you were going to send it, so thank you. I did go check my post office box. I want to say thank you. Y'all are always sending me something, and I very much appreciate you deciding to take your resources and your time to send me stuff, so I really, really do appreciate it. I don't always talk about each thing. When I first started out, I was saying names, but everybody didn't want their name to be said. And so I don't say everything, but thank y'all so much for taking time and your resources, like I said, to send me stuff. So we are going to first start with, how do you know if you still have time? So it's August, we are getting late into the summer. How do you know if you still have time to plant summer vegetables? Here's the thing, when you start gardening, the first thing you really want to look up if you are wanting to garden and you wanting to start seeds, even if you're not wanting to start seeds, it's a good idea to look up your first frost and your last frost. And it's a very simple way that you can find it. You can just Google, what is the first frost date for your zip code? Or you can do your city and your state. I always use the Farmer's Almanac website. I can put in my zip code and it gives me my predicted first and last frost. They are all predictions. So it could say that you're going to get a frost today, but you could be getting a frost 2 weeks from now, or 3 weeks from now, or even a month from now. It's not normally off that much. It's just a prediction based off of previous years. And so once you find that, you can Google or you can count back on a calendar, totally up to you. Once you find that, then you want to find out how many days you have left before you will get a frost. In my case, as of today, I have 81 days before I will get my first frost, my first predicted frost, right? And so I am looking for varieties that have a maturity date of course, 80 days or less, but I'm actually personally looking for 70 days or less, because if I get an early frost, I want to have already gotten my harvest. So the beans that are in the green stalk, I want to say they are 60 days until maturity. And so from today until my first frost, like I said, I have 80 days. So I absolutely, unless like some weather comes through that was not expected, some pest eats them, I should get a harvest before our first frost comes in. Even if you are wanting to do a fall garden, because that's what all of these seedlings that I showed you earlier, aside from what I'm about to sow, they're all for a fall garden. But even if you're doing a fall garden, you want to know what your first frost will be, because while these plants are frost hardy, they also need time to grow before we start to get frost and to get rooted and to get established in the soil. So even if you're deciding to do a fall garden, knowing your first frost is a good idea. I said days to maturity. So days to maturity just means how long is it going to take me to get a harvest from this? And so in some cases, it means from like transplant. So like for tomatoes, the days to maturity on the packet is from transplant, when you planted that transplant out, not from seed to harvest. So if you look on a seed packet, like I don't have one out here because I don't have my tomatoes. For instance, Botanical Interest seed packet says from transplant. So in some cases, that's what it means. But in other cases, like the seeds I'm sowing right now, I could direct sow them and still get a harvest before my 81 days are up. So you definitely want to check your days to maturity. So basically you find out how many days you have left. I have 81. I went looking for varieties that had a days to maturity that was less than 70 days. And so right here, you got 45 days. That's on the Swiss chart. Right here, you got 45 days. That's the mini me cucumbers from Haas. And the Swiss chard seeds were from M.I. Gardner. So these are varieties that you might want to look into. So like if you have a longer than me, these will be good. And if you have shorter than me, but within this time frame, these could be good for you. So these are Swiss chard, right? But Swiss chard, we're growing for the leafy greens and they can handle a frost. So it really doesn't matter. Those are actually a part of my fall planting. They just didn't make it. So right here, you got 50 days to maturity. And those are teddy bear sunflowers from Haas. And so I want to try Armenian long again, just because I cannot seem to grow these in the summer. So I'm going to try them again in the fall. And these have 65 days to maturity. So we're gonna try those again. And then you have the Hossinator hybrid slicer cucumber, and they're F1. And I've grown these already and they did really good in the summer. I think that it's time to pull that vine though. And so I don't know if I said it. These are 60 days to maturity, if you can see that. And those are the seeds. So that's what we're gonna plant today. And so we still have a good amount of time to get a second harvest. Other things that you can plant right now are, we need more Swiss chard than that. I'm gonna have to fill some more up. Anyway, y'all, I'm tired and it's a little warm out here. Anyway, what was I saying? You can still do squash and you can still do zucchini. Zucchini and squash both normally germinate really fast. And I believe they have between like 40 and 50 days, like 45 to 55 days to germination. You would have to check. I don't have a packet out here. Yes, I do. So for instance, these are the Emerald Delight squash and they are 50 to 55 days to maturity if you see it on the front. And I like these. They're also a smaller plant. They're not like a super duper tiny plant, but they're a smaller plant. Like if you wanted to do Costata romanesca, those are, what did it say, 52 to 60 days. You got your Black Beauty squash. Those are 55 days to maturity. So you can still do squash at this point as well. If you wanted to do a tomato, first of all, I would find a transplant and I would find a cherry variety. Those normally will produce quicker for you. I personally, in my area, I would not try, and I'm in Virginia, zone 7B. Not that zones really matter for what we're talking about. What really matters for what we're talking about is your first frost. If I were gonna replant tomatoes, I would definitely, in my area, like I said, in my area, I would definitely find a transplant if I didn't have some started on my own. So another thing we talked about is beans. So you can grow beans. These are gold mine beans. Those are the ones that's in the green stock that I showed you. And they have 55 days to maturity. And so I'm definitely gonna get some beans. If you have been here for a while, then you know that my pole beans never got off the ground. Like, they never got past the bottom of the trellis because something was eating them. So in order for me to try to get some more preserved, because right now we were eating them fresh and I was trying to preserve them. Right now, the only thing I have preserved is 1 gallon size freezer bag of beans, and that's just not gonna work for me. So Cherokee wax, like I said, I only had yellow for whatever reason, I don't know. This one has 60 days to maturity. So earlier, I think I said the gold mine had 60 days to maturity. It's 55 days to maturity. Then I had golden wax beans, and they have 50 days to maturity, and they're also from Haas. So I have links for Haas, I have links for Greenstock, have links for botanical interest down in the description. So if you decide that one of these seed varieties or more is something that you would like to try, if you would like to get a discount and if you don't mind helping support this channel, you can use those links to make that purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but I do get a little commission that helps me continue to make videos, and it does support my home because this is my full-time job now. So yeah, so those are things you can still plant now and still get a harvest. But someone asked me about potatoes. In my case, in zone 7B, I tried to plant potatoes late in the season, like in August, and I never had success. So this year, and what I was doing was trying to wait until it was cooler outside to plant them, because in the spring, I found that potatoes really prefer to start in cooler weather. I do not think that is the case for the fall. So I planted mine out either late July or the first part of August, like the first week in August, because I think that that's going to make a difference. I would have liked to get them planted earlier in July. Cannot remember why I didn't, because I said that I was going to, but then I did not. So in my area, I'm going to say for me, I would not plant them now. However, you can try whatever you want to try. I would if I was you. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it, because you could just plant a few and see if it works for you in your area. You know what I mean? You know, you can listen to people say what works for them and what doesn't work for them, but you'll never know if it's too late for you in your area if you don't give it a go. And so I tried it already, which is why I know that it won't work in my area. And that won't work. It's just like I didn't get much. So I would say do what you would like to do. If you want to know if it's too late in your area, I'm saying no for me, but it might not be too late for you. So always give it a try, regardless of what the people on the internet say. I'm one of those people, because I always say it, and then if you're not new here, you already know, this is not a teacher channel. This is a sharing channel. This video probably sound real teachy, don't it? It's not a teaching channel. It's a sharing channel. And I'm just sharing because I'm starting to get those questions like, is it too late for this and is it too late for that? So the other thing is, if you're new here, you like, why are you starting these cucumbers? You might be. Like, why are you starting these cucumbers in sale trays this late in the season? Because if I put them out in that garden, they definitely 100% more than likely, y'all hear what I did? Not gonna germinate, because I'm gonna forget to keep them moist. And I don't really use my trellises in the fall, so these can go right up until my first frost and it won't be a problem with me planting out everything else. And I am planting 3 each, but I really only need about 1 or 2 of each of these. But they did so well. And I made the pickles, and oh my goodness, refrigerator pickles, delicious, absolutely delicious. Somebody asked me for the recipe. I was using the ball canning book, but then that just had a lot going on, and I was like, I'm not doing all of this. So then I went online, but I don't remember what recipe I used. So the next time I make them, because what I'm hoping for is to get more in this, and I can freeze dry some and still make a few more refrigerator pickles, because they're actually really good. I was actually really surprised. I was like, oh, these taste like store purchased pickles, but I literally grew the cucumbers in my backyard. So if you've never done refrigerator pickles, it might be something that you might be interested in, because they were actually really good. So another thing is, it's late in the evening, dude. So another thing is, a lot of these seeds that you see me sowing in these trays right now are said to like to be direct sown, right? And they probably do, but they also can be sown in these trays and they'll be fine. So that's why I do it. I've sown all of these in trays before. The only thing I try to make sure to do is not disturb the roots too much when I plant them. But even when I do that, they still survive. So with that being the case, you can't, the mosquitoes, baby. Somebody asked me, does my deodorant, which is, what's the name of that deodorant? Lumi, if it brings mosquitoes. I'm gonna say no, because these mosquitoes been a problem for years back here. I mean years. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I guess I wouldn't say no. I'm gonna say I don't know, because they've been a problem for years back here. And with all the rain we've been having, it makes sense that they back here now, but my goodness. But anyway, what I was saying was, you can direct sow them. And if you are better at remembering than me, then that's a great thing. You only gotta plant them one time. I'm not good at remembering to keep soil moist for direct sowing. And so for the most part, I don't do it. I direct sow carrots. And what else? Is one more thing that I direct sow. Carrots I direct sow, or maybe that's it. Because I have started radishes from seed and I started beets from seed in seed trays. Now, I have never had a lot of success with beets, but I have with radishes. So yeah, you can direct sow them. I don't direct sow them because I don't remember to water them. And that's just what it is. If you were here for my last video, I told you we almost lost them carrots because I completely forgot them carrots was back there. The lucky part for me was, baby, come get these mosquitoes. Anyway, the lucky part for me is we had a lot of rain. And so that rain was getting down into that green stalk, and I'm very, very happy for it. Oh, y'all, these are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I like Swiss chard. I eat it. I preserve it. I love Swiss chard, y'all. So we're going to do 15 of these because they are going into a green stock with the bok choy. We only need 15. We need 15. We planting 12. I don't want extra stuff out here. And when I say that, like, I want everything for the most part to be in a tray. And I don't want extra stuff. We got one cilantro that's like that. And I'm like, it's okay, not a big deal. But I want everything to be in a tray because if I need to move this stuff, I want to just be able to pick the tray up. I don't want to have to pick up separate pots. So we're going to have 12 and we will mix in some of these flowers because we got a lot more calendula, I think, than we going to actually need. So we're going to plant this Swiss chard. This is the 5-color silver beet Swiss chard. Not only is it pretty and brings some color to your fall garden, it's delicious if you ask me. Okay, let's see what the date is because we might plant more than one seed. These are from 2025, last year. I guess I'll put 2 in there to be safe. For one, because I'm sick of reseeding. Y'all know I reseeded my dinosaur kale again today. And that wasn't because I left it out or anything. It's just like it didn't come up. I don't know. Maybe I kept the soil too moist. It was in a tray with other stuff that did just fine. So I do not think that was the problem. I don't really know what the problem was. But either way, I reseeded that today. Moved all of my seedlings. My son don't know how much of a lifesaver he was today. Because I really didn't feel like up-potting all of those seedlings. But I did it because he literally talked to me the whole time. I thought it was so nice. I don't think that was his plan. I think he just wanted to talk. But listen, I was like, oh, thank goodness. I needed somebody to come talk to me. This is also a packet from 2025. So we're going to put 2 seeds in there too. I don't know what your girl down here doing. She's in the cage. I don't know why. She been over here the whole time. I need to remember to turn my camera on. Because when I come outside and she know I'm outside, y'all should see her little legs moving from wherever she came from to greet me. But when I let Puppy out, she takes off. The crazy part is after that, though, the 2 of them I found together. Whoa, that's great. Come off this table. Almost got me. It's not level, y'all. I was pouring the water off. Thankfully, I picked them seeds up too. I watered these really well because I just brought these out this evening because I don't know why. Oh, because I needed to get this table up and I didn't feel like doing that earlier, so I didn't. The tables that were already out here, I just brought the seedlings out, but I didn't feel like getting it up earlier today, and it was hot and the sun was out, so just absolutely not. So now we're good to go. What's left in the house? The shallots are still in the house, and that is for the reason of I don't want to bring them outside in the allium leaf mine and get them while they still in the seed tray, because I'm going to cover those. That's going to be like probably the one thing I cover this year if it's not in the greenhouse. And I had garlic that was in the greenhouse and they still got allium leaf miner. So with that being the case, I'm gonna cover it in a different way with some tool or whatever. Snapdragons in there, a bunch have popped up already. However, the seeds are very small. The seedlings pop up very small. So that's gonna take a little while. The pansies, like I said, gonna take a little while. I saw 1 seed popping up, literally 1 seed so far. And they've been in there, I don't know, for a week and a half or so, I think, something like that. So they just gonna take a while. I've grown pansy from seed before. They were beautiful. And I just picked up some seeds I was able to find at a local store. So that's gonna take a while, but I definitely have them in the dark because it helps with germination. And girl, get away from me. There's more lettuce in the house. So my plan is let them grow a little bit out here, get them planted out, and then do some succession sowing. Because even if I don't eat them, I can donate it or give it to family. Like I said earlier, because we got a lot. I had a hard time with germination and then I overseeded and then everything germinated because what in the world? Anyway, that is gonna be the video today, I think. And so I hope that this helped. I hope that if you are new to the gardening space, that either you are going to try to get you some summer crops in or you're gonna try to grow a fall garden. Fall garden is so much easier than the summer garden. I enjoy them both, but fall gardening is probably my favorite, y'all. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all. So if you've never done, girl,